Faith Led Life, Everyday Reflections, Beauty and the Becoming. Hi, I'm Sacredly Me. My real name is Mazaya. And welcome back to this channel where we talk about faith, lifestyle, inner work, just, growth, identity in Jesus Christ. So, I wanted to talk about all of those things really today in just a short amount of time. Why do I feel like you're crooked? You're looking a little crooked to me. Over the past year, I have been trying to get out of survival mode and heal my nervous system and dive deep into inner work. If you've been there, you know it is exhausting, but it's to the point now where I'm just kind of like, all right, this is too much. But also, I think I went into it um, too much too fast, where I had level up burnout. I don't know if that's not a thing. I just made that up, but like I was trying to level up and be the best version of myself and change all of these areas to where my body is just inflamed now. And I can see it for what it is now. I have a little bit more perspective. The last couple of months, my physical looks have taken a shift, and I'm grasping for straws in certain areas, not out of a place for I'm losing the battle, but out of a place of like, oh, my old identity is really being challenged here. And I know that old versions of myself are falling off. There are some parts that are holding on for dear life, which is making this season feel heavy and like exhausting. But I know that the gap, I can see the finish line. I know I can see the finish line. Before I felt like, how do I get from who I am to that version? Like, how do I collapse everything? Actually, that's where it all started. I'm just kind of like, no, let's actually collapse all of this. Like, I want to fill the gap faster than I've ever wanted, because I have been on this, like I've loved the Lord my whole life. I've been on a self-help thing, I feel like, for all of my 20s, but I just fall off in a way, or I try different things to be better or to evolve, to grow, and I don't know what happens. I don't know the label for it, but I know for right now where I am going, I have received a promise from the Lord, and I have an assignment to fulfill, and I am on that journey to fulfill it. Faith led life, everyday reflections, beauty and becoming. That's where that all came from, is seeking first the kingdom. And I want to rule over my assignment well. And in order to do that, old identities have to die. Shame and guilt and victimhood and people pleasing, they're out. But that's what I've known for so long. So my body thinks that we are in major fear. Like there's so much danger on every side. But Psalm 23, baby, I'm fine. I had a moment here earlier where I was like an inner work moment to be played out. Like, how am I going to respond to this situation now? Um, Panic or peace? I was in the kitchen making my coffee. I work from home 3 days a week, and this was my first in office. I mean, sorry, my first work from home day of the week, and um, I never have any issue making my coffee. I get through it. My phone did not ring. I would not get an email. Um, or I'm even in the office. Sure, I go into the, excuse me, to the lunch area, and sure, I see a coworker, but I'm still making my coffee or heating up my food. We're having conversation. It's chill. It's beautiful. But this morning, my phone starts ringing, and I'm like, "Ugh, why that Teams ringtone? If you know it, you know." I was just kind of like, "Ugh, what now?" That's where that's what came into my head. But I already had said 2 hours prior, Lord Jesus, please get all up in my head before I do, because I've been there, like in my head a little bit too much, where I'm just kind of like, all right, let's do this different. So, my phone rang. I answer it. It's a same claimant I spoke to a month ago. And I told her, hey, you can get this information from this, you can get it from your attorney. And she was like, yeah, well, I'm just advocating for myself. And I was like, okay. And I looked down at my screen and I was like, oh, mute, mute is an option. And then I look over, I'm like, wait, hold is an even better option. And I was like, okay, well, just give me a few minutes. I put her on hold. I'm sorry, but I never would have done that. Like in that moment, part of me was like, oh my gosh, I have to get this. I have to like get this for her right now and blah, 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 blah. I am no longer working in the food industry. Like, I don't have to rush through everything. I am not on, I'm not working a job anymore on the phones where like call time matters. I don't need to rush here. Put her on hold, regroup, reset, come back to center so you can actually give her great customer service. That's what I did. But it was just kind of like, oh, that's not like me. But, anyways, I put her on hold, finished my coffee, which was delicious. My favorite or my go to right now is a cinnamon latte with whole milk. Just, I'm like, sometimes I think I'm over the almond milk of it all. Just give me the whole milk. It tastes better anyways. It's like so creamy. Go back to finish that, and then I come back, and for some reason like the Teams link was not working normally. So I just copied the link, sent it to her in a private email, and sent her a really nice, like thorough email rather than just adding her to the Teams invite, and that's what she gets. Instead, I wrote her out a nice hi blank, blah 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 blah, all the information she needs. Get back on the phone, explained everything that I put in the email to her, couple seconds, have it, and then she was just like, oh, okay, great. And she was like, thank you so much, I really appreciate it. And you know what, I appreciate it too. um and I was just thinking about how over the past year, from moving to Philly and getting married and changing my name, I have been on the phone a lot. I have been on hold a lot for long, long periods of time. And I had to be patient in those moments. I wasn't always. So on the other part of me was just like, oh my gosh, what if she's just like, oh my goodness, where's this girl in this office like for this blah blah blah. The hearing's scheduled for a month out anyways. It doesn't, nothing changes. So if I get back to her in 5 minutes, or if I get back to her in 15, which I think that would be a little silly, then nothing really changes. The hearing's going to be in a month. Like there's nothing, no information that she can get today that's going to change her life. Unfortunately, in a big way. So, or I shouldn't say unfortunately. I don't know if fortunate. Anyway, but the whole point is that I decided to put me first. I am coming from a childhood where I learned in Sunday school Jesus first, yourself last, and others in between. Now, that's a great quote if you don't live so black and white like I do. I was like, Jesus before me, got it. Okay, I can see that. Others before me, okay. And then over time, it's just kind of like, where do I fit into this? So I shrunk myself, made myself small over and over and over again. And I am trying to heal a visibility wound right now. So I just know, and I was listening to Alexis, and she was saying, like, I don't know, she just gives real life examples of when you have to put your new, or I guess the way I want to say it is like when you have to really put your faith into action. So if I really want to become my most sacred self, who stands up for myself, who doesn't always put people before me, who I can put myself first, that is okay. There is safety there, and I may hurt people, but the thing is like I'm not going to hurt myself time and time again to save someone 5 minutes of their day, you know? I got to keep myself at a place of peace and just calmness so that I can be the best customer service rep, so I can be the best friend, to be a good customer in the checkout line, to be my best self. That requires me to put myself first too. So that's what I had to do. I had to argue against this old identity who would have thought she needed to rush and quickly get this to this person as fast as possible because it's the end of the world. No, it's not. No, it's not. So come back to center, think logically about this, and what are your next steps? Okay, my next step was to continue in on the calm, cool day that I had in mind, putting her on hold, finishing up the last finishing touches of my coffee, taking a few sips, and coming back in here and getting in front of my laptop. That makes the most sense for me. And because I took the extra moment for myself, it did make me feel like I want to be extra sweet in this email. Not out of guilt, but out of like, oh my goodness, I can choose me and also still give good to others as well. You know, I could have just kept on trying to figure out whatever the team's issue was and get myself worked up, or I can just open up a separate email, send her a nice, thoughtful email, tell her to have a good day. What's wrong with that? That's just as fine. Peace over panic. That's the whole thing. And in the nervous system regulation journey, it's just kind of like you have to be able to see the moment for what it is and is okay. Which identity am I going to walk in? The old one that we know has no longer served us, or are we looking forward to the author and the perfecter of our faith? So I'm just keeping my eyes on the promise that he showed me. I'm keeping my eyes on Jesus. Again, the author, the champion, is the one version. I'm quoting Hebrews 2, by the way. Sorry, Hebrews 12 2. Um, that's how I'm becoming my most sacred self. Keeping my eyes on him and seeing that version of me that he showed me. How is she showing up in these little moments? Things that just seem so mundane. Something that in the theory only took 10 minutes. Recognizing the moment for what it is. Am I going to choose peace? Am I going to choose panic? Because every time I choose panic, that old version somehow sneaks her way back in. And she's not welcomed here. I love her. She got us this far, but that old identity is not taking me where I need to be. So, so that means challenging my old beliefs, and that means putting myself before others, even though I grew up believing Jesus first, yourself last, and others in between. Jesus first, sure. I rock with that. Solid sound. I can get down with that. But putting others first to the point where like it makes me freak out, at least while I'm in the process of regulating my nervous system, like I need to be more strategic with my moves and know when to give and when to, you know, the whole thing. That's all for today. I hope you have a great day and be blessed.